Summer is over and school is starting again, which means it's time to get back in routine, but it also means less time for us moms. Our schedules are about to be jam-packed with practices and lessons, and we'll soon find ourselves with even less time for ourselves and for our families, which is why I am excited to share with you that my friend Christine with Stanley Cleaning Company has opened her books. She is currently scheduling one-time and regularly scheduled house cleanings. Gain a couple extra hours a week for yourself and for your kids, and let Christine come and make your house sparkle. They have recently partnered with Airbnb and many local businesses for cleaning as well. You can find them on Facebook under Stanley Cleaning Company, or you can give her a call at 765-860-3606. She is serving Grant and Howard counties. I can tell you from personal experience, you will not be disappointed. Give her a call and get a free estimate today. This episode is sponsored by Nick Pate from State Farm. I'm Kayla Keith, and this is Missing Midwest, a true crime podcast about those that have gone missing. Today's story is about a little girl in a small Midwest town that went to a friend's house and hasn't been seen since.
Hate it.
Yeah, it's a downer.
Man.
It's about a 5-year-old little girl. Disappeared. She disappeared from Chisholm, Minnesota.
Chisholm? Back in Minnesota?
We're in Minnesota again.
We talked about how Minnesota is just like...
Don't think we should go there.
Always on the map.
One of our friends came up to us in a restaurant and she was like, I was literally listening to the podcast on our family vacation and you said that they were in like whatever county in Minnesota, and she was like, we were literally there for vacation, the same county. And I was like, I probably would have left. Like, yeah. I'm going home now.
Man.
So, announcements?
Subscriptions, $5 gets you access to 90 episodes now, 90 stories that you haven't heard yet that you get to hear. Plus, you get stickers, you get some mail from us. Would love to add you to the subscription list, so please think about that.
School's starting back up. It's the perfect time. We're all getting back in our routine. It's the perfect time to add us to your routine, please.
Add another podcast to listen to on your drive away from school after you drop your kids off. Just feel good about that time to yourself there.
Johnny doesn't get that. Johnny has to stay.
I drive
teach all of our children.
My students to school, and then I drive my kids home from school, and I love it most of the time. There are days where I almost leave them on the side of the road, but I haven't done it yet.
I'm shocked that you haven't, because like honestly, my drive to work, like that sometimes is the only 20 minutes there and 20 minutes back, the only time of my day where no one's talking to me, and I cherish it, so I feel bad that you don't have that.
There's times where I tell them, like, guys, I need you to not talk to me. After a rough day, it's like, we're driving home, like, I'm not listening right now. Stop.
Yeah, sorry about that. Anyway,
summer was nice.
Summer was fun. Good luck to everyone going back to school, including Johnny here.
Yep, I'm here for it. I'm excited to meet my kids. Yeah.
I crave a good routine. I love summer, but like, it's honestly just long enough, and then when it's over, I'm like, okay, let's get back into it.
Once I start to meet my kids, then I'm like, all right, let's roll.
Excited.
I'm here for it again.
Well, you want to get into the case?
I'm ready. Okay. Tell me the story.
We are talking about LeeAnna Warner. She was only 5 when she went missing. It was 2003 in Chisholm, Minnesota. Population 4.8 thousand. $1 dinner. It's just a small town.
Okay.
So the family, Kaylin Whitaker, and Christopher Warner and their daughter LeeAnna. That is the 3 that we're dealing with here. Okay. Now they had two other girls that were like from previous marriages in there. But Christopher and Kaylin had LeeAnna together. And so the other 2 sisters lived with them like part-time. They would be like with their like other parents sometimes, and then they would live with the sometimes. So they had actually decided, like, had moved in together and then gave birth to LeeAnna in 1998. Okay. And they had just moved to Chisholm just a few months before LeeAnna went missing. So they were like new to the town, had just gotten there. Okay. So June 14th, 2003, totally normal day. Kaylin had taken LeeAnna and her other daughter to it was like the garage sale, like the neighborhood garage sales.
Okay. And so small town garage sale status.
So they'd been walking around, and then they went to there's a big lake in the town, and they went to the lake for a little bit. There was a friend that had a house there, and then they came home. It was 4:30. Kaylin asked if she could go to her friend's house, and it was literally just a couple of blocks away.
5 years old?
Yes.
Man.
Yes, which when I first listened to it too, I'm like, I cannot imagine letting a 5-year-old walk anywhere by themselves. But we're in 2003 and we're in a small Midwest town, and it was something that happened all the time, and LeeAnna did it all the time. And so Kaylin actually had told her no, that she couldn't go. But she had really wanted to go. It was just a few streets over, and she ended up giving in to her daughter's pleas to can I please go play with my friend. And so LeeAnna started walking to her friend's house around 4:30. Literally a tiny little walk. They said she'd done it so many times by herself. But when she got there, nobody was home, and the neighbors had actually been in town shopping for the day. And so when she knocked on the door, nobody was home, and she decided to turn around and go home. And she was last seen walking back toward her house between 5 and 5:15. Now, by 5 p.m., which is when her mom told her she had to be home by, she was not home, which also to me is telling a 5-year-old
yeah,
doesn't make sense to me.
No.
Because I don't think I'm thinking of when my
9-year-old would not be able to tell you what time it was without looking at a clock or a watch.
And they didn't have cell phones.
That's what I'm saying.
Accessible as we did, back then that we do today. So I thought that was weird.
Yeah.
Why are you trusting a 5-year-old?
That's what I'm saying.
O'clock, but whatever. Her mom began to panic around 5:30, and she started to look around the neighborhood for her daughter. She got the help from her other kids, and some of the people in the neighborhood, and some other interviews I read. One of her sisters, I think the sisters were 10 and 12 or somewhere around there, and they were yeah, we literally were riding all over the neighborhood on our bikes, trying to find our little sister, and she wasn't home. And they said they could definitely feel the panic rising, and so people started gathering to search for this little girl. And by 9 p.m. they hadn't found her, and that's when they reported her missing to the police.
Man,
so
that's 4 hours.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So the police department came right after they got the phone call about it, and they formed a more formal search party and sent them out. And this was literally police, firefighters, all the local people, all the volunteers. They had trackers, expert wilderness trackers that were coming in. They had bloodhounds coming in. People were bringing in tracking bloodhounds to find this little girl. Now, the dogs actually picked up her scent at her house, but they did not pick up this scent leading to the neighbor's house, which was strange. Now, after talking to witnesses, a couple neighbors actually reported that they did see LeeAnna on the front porch of her friend's house around 5:15, and she was knocking. They said she knocked on the door, and when nobody answered, she turned to leave. But they couldn't figure out that's a 45-minute time gap. So she left her house at 4:30, and the neighbors see her knocking at 5:15. So where was she in those 45 minutes? Because they said it was less than a 5-minute walk.
Man.
And so they weren't really sure about that. And so they ended up talking to a bunch of people, and at a press 6 days after she went missing, in a press conference, the police confirmed that through witnesses, we definitely found people that saw her at 4:35 walking away from her home, and we have more than one witness that saw her at 5:15 knocking on her friend's door. We don't know where she was for that 45 minutes in between.
Interesting.
So 4:35 to 5:15, we don't know where she's at.
But that's so weird to me.
Right?
That's very weird.
Yeah.
Did you know the Jefferson House of Flowers has been a local Kokomo florist for almost 100 years? Our trained designers make beautiful arrangements for literally any occasion. You can send flowers for any reason. Birthdays, anniversaries, get well, congratulations. The list goes on. We make flowers for funerals, weddings, proposals, and even proms. Let's be honest. Receiving flowers, whether you're at home or at your work, it makes you feel special. You get butterflies and you feel loved, and that's what sending flowers is all about, the feeling that it creates. Call us at 765-452-8269 and let us create something special and send it out for you. Or you can stop in and see us at 4300 West, 100 North Kokomo. We always have a cooler full of flowers that are ready to go, as well as a boutique full of gifts. Shop local, support local, and send flowers.
So they're checking everything. It's been 6 days. They were checking garages, barns, sheds. There was mines around this area that they were checking. They searched that lake that I talked about because they were worried about the lake, and it's they searched hard for the first 48 hours, okay, but they found nothing. Now, police obviously are going to talk to the parents, okay? So they talked to Chris and Kaylin, and they are trying to figure out, like, was anything different or weird or anything going on? And they said, actually, yes, like, LeeAnna has been behaving a little bit off lately. So they said a few weeks before she went missing, they found LeeAnna playing with, like, this case filled with Barbie dolls and, like, Barbie doll accessories and clothes. But, like, they had never purchased Barbie dolls in their life. Like, they were not her toys. And when Kaylin asked LeeAnna, like, hey, where did you get these toys? LeeAnna told her that a little old lady gave them to her.
What?
Yeah. And they were just like, okay. Like, so they were like,
which freaking little old lady?
They didn't really think much of it. They were like, I mean, maybe she took them from a friend's house or, like, whatever. Like, they really didn't know, but, like, it wasn't enough for them to, like, look into it really. Now, a week.
I feel like because we're warped, we would look into that. But
we are.
maybe not.
Yeah, but, like, in a small neighborhood in 2003, maybe not.
Yeah.
Now, a week before her disappearance, LeeAnna actually packed a suitcase and she put all her favorite things in it. Her clothes, her toys, everything that she wanted. And she told her parents that she was leaving because she wanted to go live at her new family's house.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. And they were like, what are you talking about? And she just kept saying she had a new family that she wanted to live with. And they were like, no, you're 5, get in your room. I'm like, no. Now,
that's creepy.
They also, in the last couple of weeks before she went missing, they found her sleeping in her closet on the floor one night. And she said it was because she was afraid of the people that were outside of her window that were going to get her.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. Terrifying. So, like, all 3 of these incidences, like, we have the Barbies, we have the new family, and we have the monsters outside my window type thing. Like, all 3 of them not crazy for a 5-year-old, but all of them put together after your 5-year-old disappears is, like, scary. Right? Like, I would be freaked out.
Yeah, I have so many questions.
So the investigators say, like, they looked into all of this and they found no evidence that, like, would lead them to believe that somebody, like, tried to lure her away, like, with toys or, like, anything like that. They, like, couldn't find anything, and they found no evidence that anyone had, like, been outside their house. Now, weeks go by and it obviously has turned from, like, a rescue to, like, a recovery. Like, they're like, the odds of us finding her are getting slimmer and slimmer. And by the end of the month, they were no, like, closer to finding her than they had been at when the date that she went missing. Like, they had nothing.
Goodness.
Now, so Long Year Lake was the name of the lake that they had visited that day, and it's, like, literally the size of the town. Like, if you look at it on Google Maps, it's like there's a town, half of it is a lake. Like, it's a big lake. And so that was actually LeeAnna's mom was a little nervous about, like, did she try to go back to the lake, like, and she can't swim type thing. And so somebody had found, like, kids' footprints beside, like, the lake, and they actually, like, drained the lake.
Whoa.
And to try to find her, and they had to stop because it was, like, wintertime and the area had started to freeze over. But they said that they were able to see, like, they weren't able to drain it fully, but they were able to see the bottom of the lake with a helicopter. And so they flew a helicopter all over, and, like, they could see the whole entire bottom of the lake, and they said she was not in there.
Man.
So in the summer of 2004, so they, like, do a new search effort to, like, try to find her remains because, like, nothing is getting forward. And then in 2020, the police chief said that they still have several people, like, that are persons of interest. And they can't really call them suspects because they don't have any evidence, but they do have people that they can't, like, clear out either.
So they're still on the list.
Yeah. In 2025, the police chief reported that the case is still open and it's a top priority for the department, and that they're hoping with, like, DNA advancements that one day they'll be able to have, like, a break in this case. But other than that, like, nothing. Like, they have never found LeeAnna. Like, she just disappeared that day and never came forward, or never was found again. So, suspects. Okay, we have, so first of all, the family, Chris and the mom, like, obviously are going to be suspects. they said that Chris had been having some like domestic issues with his ex-wife, and he had a restraining order against her. So for a while they like looked into like that, but they were able to rule that out. And they kind of like basically said like they kind of ruled the entire family out. But a lot of people like looked at the family, like the mom and dad, for like a really long time. Like they were like the small town rumor for a long time.
I mean, it kind of like it's not the same thing. But remember there was that case we did like down in Kentucky or Tennessee.
Summer Wells.
Yep. But I mean, I feel like you have more of a space here.
Yeah.
That 45 minutes is hanging me up. That like missing time where she was seen. Like where could she possibly?
And I think that's kind of what like hangs people up too about the parents. But like, from all I can tell, like I don't think the parents were involved.
Okay.
But Matthew James Curtis was like one of the main suspects. Okay. Now, he was 24 at the time, and he was arrested in August of 2003 for possession of child pornography. And when they arrested him for that, that's when they like started interrogating him about LeeAnna. And he was like based on like the child pornography charges, and he did live like kind of close to the area. Like they suspected that maybe he had something to do with it. They got a search warrant. They searched his truck. They got his DNA, but like they found nothing to indicate that he had ever met LeeAnna. She'd never been in his house, been in his truck. Like there was no direct link between the two. And in September, the day before he was supposed to go to court for the pornography charges, they found him dead.
Man.
And he apparently had suffocated himself with a plastic bag.
Wow.
And it was ruled a suicide, but apparently something sketchy is going on with that, because they said like tons of people in that town, which there's
small town
where they believe that Curtis was murdered and that his body was made to look like a suicide.
Well, if it was one of the parents, one of those kids, it sounds like it was a suicide to me.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I don't know. So apparently there's something there.
Interesting.
But that's just like the internet sleuthing.
It's the small town rumor.
That's just small town rumor stuff, which I love it. I wish I could talk. If you're from Chisholm, Minnesota, I want to know why you think Curtis was murdered rather than committed suicide, because like I know there's something there. There's some tea there for sure.
At Bo Digital, we believe every small business has a unique story. Someone just needs to be telling it. In marketing, the best stories move us to take action. But we also know how hard it is for small business owners like you to juggle everything and still find time for marketing, much less storytelling. That's what Bo Digital is here for. We help companies of all shapes and sizes anywhere in the world with customized solutions that connect you with your customers. Whether you need a new logo, better website, stronger social media presence, engaging video content, or just someone to help you make a plan, we're here to help. Our late founder and Kokomo native, Wayne Stanley, built Bo Digital as a family, and our team strives to become part of the professional family of every business we work with. That's our story and our guiding principle. So if you're ready to start telling your story with confidence and connect with the right customers, visit bowdigital.com. That's BOWE digital.com. Your marketing deserves a pro. Let's put a bow on it.
The next one, if you are a subscriber and you listened to yesterday's episode,
An absolute creep show.
Joseph Edward Duncan III was a suspect in this. We did an entire episode on him yesterday for our subscribers, and honestly, like it ended up being one of like my top 5. Like I hate this guy. Like he was awful.
Top 5, you think, huh? I mean, he's up there for
top
sure.
5 hardest cases to talk about. I feel like.
That was tough.
I just felt like he did some bad stuff, and so he was a convicted sex offender, and he was accused at the time, which he was accused of kidnapping 2 kids in Idaho, which come to find out he did kidnap those 2 kids in Idaho. But like during all of this, they were like, well, I mean, was he in the area? And so they went through his computer when they ended up catching him, and they had found like a document that he had talked about LeeAnna's case. And he had this online diary, and he basically said that he was afraid that they were going to try to pin LeeAnna's disappearance on him, which I'm like, you've killed like 8 people, so what do you care if they pin another one? Like, it's not like, I don't know why you're even talking about that, but whatever. He also talked about how he didn't think it was fair that he was being labeled a sex offender.
What?
To which I'm like, sir, you are a sex offender, like a really, really bad one. He did not like the label.
Gee, poor guy.
Poor guy, yeah. And so they could not find anything like concrete enough to put him on trial for LeeAnna's disappearance.
Wow.
They revealed that, like, they basically like made an announcement and said that they don't believe that he was in Chisholm at the time that LeeAnna was abducted. And so they basically like ruled him out for the most part.
I mean, most of his stuff was in the Northwest.
Yeah,
and
kind of.
Minnesota,
Idaho, Montana, Seattle.
Yeah.
And so they did their, if you listened to the episode from yesterday, like they put a lot of work into like
mapping
making
where he
his
went.
timeline and his map, and they said that he wasn't in the area, so he was kind of off.
It's creepy though that he was looking her up.
Exactly.
Like,
and I think that's like the
freaking
only
creepy.
reason the connection happened, like, was because they found that on his computer. Now there was a couple unidentified suspects. So there was like a bunch of people from the neighborhood came forward and said they saw a man walking around the neighborhood that afternoon. And they said he had a dark tattoo of a star on his right arm, a star or a sun. They've never been able to identify this man, but nobody knew who he was. And like this town, like this neighborhood, everyone knew everybody. Some other witnesses also came forward and said that there was like a maroon and blue Cadillac that was driven by an African American man, and they said he had a bald head, and he was seen driving around the neighborhood that day, and nobody recognized who he was. And then there was also an older rusty brown pickup truck by a white man that had black curly hair. The police put out like notifications on all like three vehicles, like three very different vehicles.
I was gonna say those are very different. All of these are very different.
All different men and different vehicles. And the police actually, like in the months after she went missing, like they put out to the public, like, we are searching for these men. We're not saying they're suspects, but we would like to talk to them.
Sure.
And they never found any of them.
Like they didn't talk to. They were never even able to talk to any of these people.
Found all three of them.
Man, I mean that's still like three potentials right there.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So,
but even then though, I'm still thinking like new family, old lady, like people standing outside of her door or outside of her window. Like this sounds like multiple people are in this.
Yeah.
I looked up where Chisholm, Minnesota is.
Mm-hmm.
You're not very far from Canada.
Really?
No.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You're not very far from one of the Great Lakes. I forget which one it is. And you're probably less than like 4 hours away from Wisconsin.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, so her sisters, she had a sister named Carly and Whitney. They were 9 and 10 at the time. I have it in my notes here. I couldn't remember how old they were earlier, but they were 9 and 10. And they basically like recalled like how scary it was and how much it, like, they said it completely changed their mom after that. And in December of 2022, Kaylin, the mom, died. She was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer, and 42 days later after her diagnosis, she died.
Man.
And her dying wish was finding her daughter.
Goodness.
She said, if I die, she told her other 2 daughters, she said, if I die, I need you and Carly to find your sister, give us the answers that we need, and don't ever stop searching. Bring her home. That is all I want from you.
Man.
Like, can you imagine your mom?
That's heavy. That is so heavy.
So, they said that their mom sat on the front porch steps like every night with her front porch light on, waiting for LeeAnna to come home.
Man.
So the sisters have like done a whole bunch of stuff. They're really like advocates for it and trying to find her. They have their DNA and everything on file, and they're hoping that genetic testing will lead them to LeeAnna. And honestly, they believe that she's possibly still alive. They think that they believe that she might have been raised. Their hope is that she was taken by somebody that wanted a kid and was raised with another family that wanted a kid. They're just recently, apparently, the sisters, in one of the interviews I was reading, the sister was talking about how there was just a kid, like a 50-year-old in Texas, that she had seen some pictures of herself from when she was like a toddler, and she had seen some like a true crime documentary or something about like a baby that had been taken, and she was like, that's exactly what I looked like as a toddler. And
really,
come to find out, it was her. She had been kidnapped, and she had lived a really great life, but she was taken, and she had no idea, and she was reunited with her biological family. And so that's what these sisters are hoping
Man,
that maybe
that's
could
heavy
happen
too.
one
It's
day,
it's
and-
so heavy. All this.
Yeah, and so they are trying to give their mom her dying wish and figure out what happened to LeeAnna that day. But this is one of those cases that like there's a possibility that she's still out there. I mean,
Like you said, like if another family did take her in and like kidnapped her
Yeah.
and just raised her.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like it.
I think the old lady thing too gives you like a vibe of like someone was trying to gain her trust.
Yeah.
Maybe. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I mean, the fact that they didn't find her right away.
Never
She was
finding her is
killed right
definitely
there.
strange.
I mean, like the behavior of the like walking around town. I mean, not around town necessarily, but walking at 5 years old. Like every 5-year-old in the world has ADD. I mean, like, oh look, there's a butterfly. I'm gonna chase it for a minute. Like
Yeah.
that the opportunity to get snatched and killed was there, but the fact that she has these encounters where somebody gave her these dolls and this other family and these people outside of her window, maybe like I don't know. To me, that sounds like somebody trying to like take her to like keep her alive, not
Exactly.
not
I
kill
think
her.
That's the hope that the sisters and the family have.
Oh, that's crazy.
We will post pictures of her. There's like tons of age progression
Sure.
photos and stuff. She's a super cute little girl. We'll post it, and if you know somebody that would be that age or looks like her,
Man,
let us know.
someone knows something about that. This podcast is a So.Will.I.Studos production. So will I.
Are you ready to upgrade to the home that fits your family best? Take the first step of that process by giving my girl Stacy Westfall a call. She's partnered with Apple Tree Realty in Howard County, where they have the knowledge and resources to help you reach your goals. Stacy has quickly become a successful realtor in our area, and I am so proud of her. She's not just a friend of mine, she's also a mother and a local firefighter. Buying and selling a house is stressful, and having someone professional and trustworthy in your corner can make all the difference. Give Stacy a call today at 765-461-1243 and follow her on Facebook at Stacy Westfall Realtor.